That's rule 1 in the laboratory, but.
Absolutely, but 6WX and BlazingPasta, it's not the first time and it won't be the last, but welcome to Grand Finals here at CodeName Bears 186.
This matchup really harkens back to Smash 4. These guys were at it almost every week in some form or another, and for it to go Grand Finals like that is very nostalgic for me. So right now we see a little bit of a sway in the nostalgia because Pasta taking control 89-22. He does have 6WX does have Arsene up, but the way that Peach can move in and out will make it a tad more difficult to get those hits in that 6WX actually right now desperately needs.
BlazingPasta was one of those people that have always been a sleeping giant in Tri-State. One of those people who could take it to anyone in that approached him. People like the Juices and the 6WXs, and even going into other places in Tri-State at large, the Shoyo Jameses or Great Gonzalez's,
right,
or the Jens, people up in New York. He's always been one of those people that has had the potential. He's already great, but he has the potential to be, I mean, on an international level great. And as he gets his first stock taken off of him, still maintaining a lead, 6WX trying to assert his dominance and show, I mean, hey, I've already been to this rodeo, and you're about to see why.
Oh
my! But BlazingPasta never been one to simply sit back and watch. He's getting right into the thick of the action and taking the first stock off of 6WX. There's a reason he came out on winner's side, Mini Boss.
Right, especially when you have that turn up the fair confirmed. And so far, 6WX struggling to get back. Whoa, that was insane!
What a beautiful down air it looked like.
I think it was Nair.
Was it Nair?
I think so.
Goodness gracious. I mean, it came out so fast, I couldn't even look. That was ridiculous.
Oh my gosh, the way that, realizing that he skirted out so far and just made whatever move it was, the recognition to hit off the stage just gets the awareness of 6WX chalked up on the boards. And right now, because of that, we're on final stock.
6WX, all of a sudden, evening this game right back out. The back air, BlazingPasta looking to clean up the mess. However, 6WX gets the grab and the back throw.
Tries to bring down with the tether, but again, Pasta's a little too wise for that. He knows this character. Probably because he's such a strong player, has gone up against a whole army of Jokers, so he realizes what this character can do. But he's struggling to find his foothold on stage. Finally does so with Nair, gets turn up and breathing room. Forces out, but he does have Arsene on deck. He will get back for a long while, but this will be a heavy edge guard for Pasta.
But he makes
only the third one.
BlazingPasta maybe getting a little too ambitious, going down too deep, and 6WX sneaks past them after getting caught on the first 2 attempts. However, 6WX with dagger in hand sweeps away and swipes at that last stock. He goes up 1-0. BlazingPasta, he has some reconsidering to do, I feel like.
I mean, it has to be adaptation on gameplay because it was last stock, but the way that 6WX was able to skirt around all the Peach's options, because she has a ton of options. She can hover. If she has turn up on hand, that's another option. It gets multiplied so crazily. Turn up throw, Nair, and then you have so many options off of turn up combos and non-turn up combos that makes Peach such a threat when she's going in on you with that hover. But 6WX not fearing it at all, keeping his wits about him and getting that first round going in. And we'll see how Pasta fares going in on this round 2. I was a little bit remiss on the stage pick. I believe Town and City. Yeah, Town and City. So, and gets the early turnip hold to probably find some early combos to combat how 6WX took control so far in this set.
And and having to wrest it away from BlazingPasta, who got off to such a good start. Up tilt, gonna put BlazingPasta into the air. He likes to hang out in the air, but on his terms, and 6WX not really allowing such a luxury to come about for Philadelphia's number 3 at the moment, catching him with the gun. However, BlazingPasta making it back. He's never been one to just sit in disadvantages like it.
Oh, no, yeah. Even with that parasol, he was off stage, so you might have thought he was in disadvantage, but he was probably looking for a stage fight to hit off with that parasol as 6WX gets that forward tilt off the moving platform, or the guided in platform, rather, and gets the first stock lane. But do not give Pasta any sort of foothold or any sort of chance to get momentum, because he is a momentum-heavy character. Once he gets his groove going, especially with Peach, it'll pay off in spades for him.
Indeed, and catching the approach with the up smash, 6WX, he'll think twice before taking to the air, generally speaking, when he knows that BlazingPasta is ready and waiting with that option on deck. But I do have to say, it's pretty ballsy of BlazingPasta to just go for the stage spike and bet that 6WX isn't able to tech that, because we have seen him do that all night long, and I'm not really sure how that's going to change just because it's BlazingPasta that's facing him.
All night -1 because he didn't tech against Enzo.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah,
that's true. But the thing is that he does it so often that you remember the time that he doesn't. It's
exactly.
like that he doesn't. It's like the exception that proves the rule.
Right.
And back air, goodness gracious, BlazingPasta on a roll and takes out the second stock of 6WX, who really the comboing ability of BlazingPasta has always been something to be admired, but even in the face of 6WX's Joker, I mean, he's just unrelenting.
Yeah, and that one combo, it says 83 to 34 now, but before he got that 50 on, it was even up, like you said, from that combo from Pasta. And the way that Pasta's skirting away, actually trying to skirt away from the B down of the gun, and the way that he can use the hover to effectively do that, it's going to prove very, very difficult for 6WX to find some stifling movement, but a fair cut through turnip throw and Peach as it takes out, and finally we are both on final stock for both these players.
BlazingPasta with the turnip connects, and indeed the crown coming out once again. A couple of divine mandates being handed down, mini bosses.
You only need one.
Well, you know what? When you're BlazingPasta, you want as many as possible.
True.
And he's never been one to share, quite frankly. At 132,
there are a lot of challengers to the throne, so you might need a couple more. My fault.
Indeed, and Joker looking to steal some royal treasures here at Town and City. If he can go up 2-0, it'd be a huge swing in momentum. BlazingPasta maybe cooling down just a little too much. BlazingPasta being extinguished in this game number 2. 6WX with that Joker. He is more than happy with his performance there, and frankly, he has every right to be.
Absolutely, yeah. The recognition for him that get that dare and then the spike on stage to convert to that up air on, or rather up smash on the platform. If Pasta landed, he had nowhere to escape. If he just still hung up in the air like he did, stock claim. So again, 6WX showing that he's not tired after having the battle through loser's side, being a fresh and ready opponent for Pasta going into this game 3.
And BlazingPasta remaining cool and collected, as he is one to do. You're going back to Pokemon Stadium for game number 3. And it seems like it was doable for him in game 1, to be completely honest, but something was missing. What does BlazingPasta have to do to turn this thing around?
I think right now what he's doing, he's playing the mid to far away game, realizing that Joker has A-High, he has guns, he has, once he gets those conversions in, the way to move in, and if Pasta goes forward with a very strong combo, you'll feed Rebel's Guard into Arsene. He has a lot of options to pressure that early gameplay style, and if you're doing well, he's not really at a disadvantaged state because he can pull out Arsene and just swing it right around. So the way that Pasta was playing very reserved in those early percentages was a great way to showcase how it's in even percentages right now.
Gets the grab and the back throw, and indeed BlazingPasta looking to rectify his past mistakes, but he's definitely playing a lot more careful, and a little bit surprising. Yeah, it's just playing the avoidance game.
Yeah, he's rolling back a lot. He's really trying to avoid giving the first stock claim to 6WX. But he did resort to that gameplay style that I mentioned earlier. He's got to find some way to bring the pressure, though, because if he just plays defensive all the time, 6WX will charge through. Ooh. Gets the grab into back throw finally, but going back, you do not want to give, much like Pasta, you don't want to give 6WX any sort of foothold on stage because him being a Sonic player, he knows how important stage control can be. And for him to go to Joker and play Joker tournament after tournament very recently and consider him as a viable either secondary or even main really has to put the fear of the prospects of this character into everybody that's challenging him.
And 6WX, you would have to think, I mean, with BlazingPasta being on the role that he is at the moment, just with the stock lead and playing with a little bit more of an advantage, you could see his approach at the last, at the first stock, as he finally loses it. 6WX suffering minimal damage, all things considered. But 6WX, he was getting very aggressive, starting to whiff, and that was BlazingPasta eventually. It was BlazingPasta eventually olaying him almost to take that for that stock lead. But now 6WX piling on the damage, and if there was a lesson to be learned, he certainly ignored it and just kept pressing on the gas pedal. And he's looking to reset this bracket right here and now.
I mean, yeah, without Arsene are the optimal times that you want to pressure Joker and you want to get the grasp of the stage, the flow of the gameplay rather, in your hands. Just gets back with that up B, and again, just that shield pressure. Pasta actually being a little bit scared in these high percentages. He's fine with rolling back and playing defensive when the stocks or the percentages are fresh, rather. But in these high percentages, he seems very, very scared to go in with anything too committal.
And now the meter has filled up. Arsene is out, and he'll be looking for the option to kill. However, BlazingPasta, never mind that. I've already found it, says the Philadelphia #3, and he stands in defiance of the PGR man from Lansdale. Peach Bomber.
Double Peach, very interesting. Rolls back yet again, and again, early percents, he's fine to play that defense, command those, once you give Pasta that control, he'll move in and take as much as he can, but that's why actually we see the counter, rather, from Joker to come out and alleviate some of that pressure being put on 6WX.
Back air. Himself a little bit of breathing room, but not nearly enough. That back air from 6WX's cut out a lung or two with that thing, and he's sitting at 92%. 6 looking for the reset. He has some work to do, trying to get the ladder off of the top. Cheeky stuff from BlazingPasta. However, he's going to need a little bit more than wit in order to win this one, mini boss.
Oh my, okay.
Oh, what a Rebel's Guard!
So long, even longer than most counters in the game. But yeah, the way that 6WX finally got stage control after Pasta was putting on even more damage, he realized that Pasta, as he gets the Divine Mandate coming in and gets the round 3 rather stock claim for Pasta. 6WX did get a little bit of stage control because he realized that Pasta was right below him and jumping in. Really, when you do that as Peach, your only option really is to cheese with Parasol. So 6WX fast fell and air dodged very effectively. They got through that, but Pasta already had so much stage control momentum to go with that it proved a little too much for 6WX to get around, and we're going into Game 4 because of that.
Yeah, and let's talk about that Rebel's Guard for a second, because it's very different from a lot of these other counters in the game. You can sit in that thing for as long as you feel like.
God,
and BlazingPasta has been conditioned throughout this set to see that, okay, he's going to drop it, and eventually that's going to be my time to attack. BlazingPasta thought that he timed it out, but 6 just right then and there countering it, and he was looking for that reset while he still had the chance, but he obviously still does, but he's going to have to do it in Game 4 if he wants to avoid a potential winning situation for BlazingPasta, the young man from Upper Darby, Pennsylvania, as we go to Memento's Battlefield.
Oh my gosh. You guys can't see because the little graphic is there, but we still have the low battery little indicator. But both these guys are on full capacity. Right now we're seeing the very solid neutral gameplay. Pasta charging had a little bit more stage control yet again, and those early combos will give him the leg up. But like with most other rounds and most other sets.
Oh, he blew his jump! That jump was eaten by an attack from 6WX, and that smart pressure that he's so well known for. You know, sometimes you just got to keep yourself at a distance. 6WX realizing that.
Just the way that that Joker is such a... He's a heavy in terms of, you know, you're feeding him, but not in terms of percentages because he still has the light knockback no matter what. But Arsene becomes so beefy that if he's doing his job, will prove effective. But the double turnip snipe! Pasta going in deep with the throwables.
Holy smokes! Blazing produce from BlazingPasta, and he will take it via a double turnip snipe. That kid's aim is impeccable. And now 6WX. Maybe not as impressive to hit a target with a gun as it is with a turnip, but nonetheless, pretty consistent with it. Regardless, the counter down B.
I mean,
looking for it again on the ledge, but BlazingPasta grabs ledge instead.
If you bring a turnip to a gunfight, you have to have some kind of cojones on you, so.
Indeed, and just enough to fit under that dress, does Peach, so.
A lot of turnips under there, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. So, 6WX, Mini Boss keeping this a family stream. He's one stock away from the reset here, and BlazingPasta, he's got a lot of work to do. You can't just cheese out every single stock with those double turnips. At some point, you're gonna need to start throwing some hands, and Peach very well capable of that. But you're not just walking up and approaching Joker.
Oh no, yeah, especially with him getting 2/3 of the way there on Rebel's Guard. Arsene is a looming threat, so he will have to find some way to get this stock lane. But again, 6WX ever shortening that possibility as he just pressures off stage, not giving Pasta any way to combat on stage, and making that threat of Arsene even more palpable. And again, Fair not going to cut it as 6WX gets the shield up in time, skirting around and applying pressure. 6WX really learning the Joker gameplay style of applying pressure and not giving your opponent any time to let Rebel's Guard charge up even on its own. And again, Arsene on deck, and this could be a potential 2-0 for 6WX, but Pasta charging ahead like we saw before. He wants to shut down that possibility, but we will have the reset nonetheless.
And just like that, it's a whole new ball game. 6WX, he wins this set 3-1, and he has a chance to win it now with 3 more victories. BlazingPasta, he needs to reconsider what he's doing. I don't know what it is that's not working about his game against 6WX right now, but I mean, you look at him, he looks demoralized. Like, I want to say it's him keeping a straight face, but I mean, you don't usually see him this down.
I mean, yeah, a lot of players do get that, you know, very poker face, essentially, when they play the game, but we do see a little bit of, like you said, a little more, a hint of sadness, as it will. He's not really sad, but he's just struggling to find a way to combat the Joker experience that 6WX has been able to surmount in a very small and rapid amount of time.
This is a good start, however.
Absolutely. The Arsene does come out, but 84, the way that Pasta's been playing, skirting around, using a lot more tricky options, using rolling and hovering right through the opponent instead of trying to fake out with a potential roll read to get on the other side of your opponent. Pasta prioritizing the positioning of characters a lot more and proving effectively so far.
6WX, making it back on the stage, however, not for long. Joker, I mean, we're so used to seeing him on the front foot, but now he's going to be catching a front foot kick from Peach. And only took 13% percentage points worth of damage. That entire stock, BlazingPasta, I mean, maybe he keeps a better poker face than we thought.
And you saw the way he dropped that combo right there with the turn-up setup. He didn't pursue it a lot more because he thought that 6WX would be able to throw out a counter, possibly realizing the timing that was needed for that counter, or that combo rather, to be 100% true. And Pasta actually holding back a little bit, respecting the other person on the side of that other TV, and getting a lot more off that combo than he potentially could have ate instead.
A full stock advantage, ostensibly, for BlazingPasta, as he's looking, pressing a whole lot of buttons, all things considered. Surprised he hasn't been punished a little bit more heavily, but 6WX, and again, he has every reason to respect. BlazingPasta catches him with the turn up,
but
he
held
is able
his
to make
jump.
it back.
Yeah.
Oh, what discipline from 6WX to not panic and hold the jump. He will lose the stock nonetheless, but showing that's just one of those little plays of awareness that perhaps he does make it back and is able to reset neutral. That changes the tide of a match potentially.
Yeah, and really, Pasta actually turning his heels on his own gameplay style. We saw that double dare. Most people would think that Pasta would try to either get a combo or back off when the opponent is potentially going to throw up a shield, being pressured into that ledge with the way that he hit losing. But Pasta actually, you know, using a little bit of the wild card options to keep 6WX guessing on how he's going to potentially combat him, as we see a potential 3-0 potential happening for Pasta.
6WX on ledge, awaiting the get-up of Peach, and just trying to clean up this stock. All of a sudden, BlazingPasta making himself harder to grab than a bar of soap in a bathtub, and now he's looking for that grab himself. 6WX eventually snags a hold of it. Can't stay away from me forever, says 6WX. BlazingPasta with a pretty significant lead, however, will be looking to pile on here.
I mean, just the way that he was able to live through, I don't know how many Arsens, maybe someone in chat could help with that very quickly, but he lived through all those Arsens and pressure from the Joker at 201% as Peach. That is just by itself something to be very well commended. So we'll see if he can carry that in this final stock plane potentially, and throughout the rest of the set, as 6WX on his heels as he gets sent out to the left side, and still wondering how he's going to lap even one more stock plane and beat out this percentage deficit.
Back air going to give himself a little bit of space. Oh, he did not get the hitbox on the counter. So, 6 sitting at 157%, not getting the kill quite yet, and loses Arsene. Oh, he was hoping to get hit out of that. Unfortunately, that hit just a little too powerful for Peach to negotiate, but that's pretty powerful in itself. The divine mandate from BlazingPasta.
Very solid adapt. You see 6WX, it actually was on screen. You saw him shaking it, realizing, you know, how am I going to peg down this Peach? Because earlier on, I said Pasta switching up his gameplay style, using the position of characters. 6WX had a hard time, you know, holding the Peach down and getting that effective damage on him. So it's going to be really hard going forward if either 6WX reads on that and Pasta switches it back up, or if Pasta charges through with that changed gameplay style. And 6WX is really going to have to consider a whole branching set of options, rather, going forward into the Game 2. And we see Aria of the Soul, a time to chill a little bit more. Maybe 6WX mentally needs a little bit of a reset. So not a whole lot of action music going on. So we'll see how this potentially gets him in the right mind frame. But Pasta does seem on it, so he'll definitely need it here going into round 2 of this reset bracket.
And we saw just how crazy that last game was. But if 6WX is going to win, he'll have to not dole out only 241 percentage points worth of damage compared to the 500 that BlazingPasta piled on.
Oh,
if you saw that stat screen.
I didn't, so thank you for catching that. That is another commendable effort there for Pasta. Chopped up 2 so far and getting the win nonetheless. That's 3 in a row.
6WX taking far too much damage. I mean, forget about how good a player 6WX is. Joker just can't handle that. Like,
no,
it doesn't matter how many demolition derbies you've driven in if you're driving in like an '84 like Ford Explorer. Like that's just beat up and it's like the wheels are rusting off and all that nonsense. Like you're just not going to win.
Yeah,
you're just not.
Late game, he has all the advantages of a heavyweight without being a heavyweight. Late game because Arsene has to come out, and then without being heavyweight because he is a lightweight even with Arsene on. It doesn't change anything about his weight class, and if it does, it's so slight that it's not noticeable. It
is a very different thing from what we're used to talking about from Smash 4 with how much of a difference Limit made with Cloud in terms of killing off at the top, because it did change his properties in terms of knockback and in terms of weight and how fast he'd go.
Exactly.
So now 6WX gets the tilt. But cannot connect with anything else. BlazingPasta says, you know what, I got a dash attack for you. Let me show it to you, and indeed he does to claim that first stock. Sitting at 175%. Peach. Oh,
so long.
Oh my
gosh.
Goodness. 6W. I mean, that was the right choice.
Yeah. I mean, but maybe he could have held out with a little bit more cover, but you saw him pop, and a lot of people recognizing that the animation of Joker is the right key in on trying to go in on Rebel's guard. So maybe Pasta had a little bit of a misread on the animation of Rebel's guard and just chalked up a lot more potential.
Going to see side B, there you go.
Yeah.
And really that side B, just sort of a desperation attempt to try to pile on damage. Has him at 74%, and you know you knew that he was looking for as many side Bs as possible, not just for that, not really for the knockback, but for all the lingering damage that he would get. Goodness gracious.
All right, so far back throw again. 6WS locking down stage control, trying to read high with that potential tether up B, but Pasta returns the favor for him, drops low to avoid the turnips, and does get back with tether finally. But down smash and to the other side of the stage we go.
Oh my goodness gracious. Tossing that Joker around like a rag doll. BlazingPasta looking to take a 2-0 lead on Omega Mementos. Dash grab.
And the times that he's used that down B, or that beat down on stage rather, has been pretty dang fearless of him. Because the lethality that whoa, tether actually snapping the opposite way for Joker and keeping himself alive on his final stock of this round.
I have to commend BlazingPasta for one thing. I mean, throughout this whole game, and certainly throughout this whole set, he has been preserving his jump until he sees 6WX commit to something off stage. He does not want to get gimped by that gun. That is priority number one for the Philadelphia number 3 right now. And as Arsene does make yet another appearance, and I feel like we have said that quite a bit here tonight. Oh, looking for the counter. Instead draws back on the forward air. And we'll look for the Z drop on the turn-up.
That stall out from Arsene actually saving him!
Oh, beautiful. 6WX finding a way back.
Oh!
Rebel's guard.
Oh, no way.
Oh, no, he made it back. BlazingPasta will have to suffer a stock loss for it.
Yeah, but 131, again, writing might be on wall, but he does have Arsene in hand. And it's only 2/3 of the way, or 1/3 of the way down, rather. We're going opposite. Trying to find some way in, but Pasta going to resort to that little bit of reserve gameplay, but still applying pressure. You saw him fall back, but still apply fair. He knows that he has to get this stock claim in the tech and the reversion from Arsene into tether, but on stage, a different story.
Indeed, 6WX finding a way somehow, some way to keep himself in this thing, but there's only so much damage that you can take, and apparently the limit is around the upper 400s, as you saw on the stat screen in that split second. And yeah, it's been BlazingPasta throwing the hands unrelentingly, and all of a sudden a change of mood entirely. That's a much happier BlazingPasta.
Without a doubt, yeah. You see him looking around. Yeah, you see him smiling even. Actually stomping the stage.
Sumo stomping. Oh my gosh. BlazingPasta going full E Honda on the stage.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, the full-on slap.
The multi-hand, yeah.
Oh my god. That was, dude, what was it? Turbo, was it 2 Turbo? Like the original version where that was just busted in the corner.
Yeah,
you could
E Honda was so busted in that game. Yeah, you're right.
Like you actually could not like jump over that.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous.
Oh my gosh. All right. I'm going to start commentating game number 3 before I start getting mad about
about a whole nother game.
About what my brother did to me.
Oh, okay. That's a little family and a little personal close, yeah.
I mean, I did main Blanca, so I kind of deserved it. But either way,
gotcha.
Ega.
Arsene coming out and very rapidly, 45 seconds in, and both of the guys sitting at these high red percentages.
That tech again by 6WX.
Oh my gosh, we got a mangle from an Arsene. Peach Bomber just pulled up the shield just in time. It is sitting low. And nothing to counteract that if your shield is gone.
The Joker with a tuber, never something to fear. However, BlazingPasta is going to be down 1 stock. He can clean this up very easily, but again, 6WX keeping close to the stage. I think he recognized that he blew his jump that time.
Yeah. Arsene, or rather Aha, pop him up. But really, that's not really what 6WX needs right now. He needs to lock down stage control, and he needs to get that confirmed almost from across stage, a good couple feet away from the blast zone though. So, but again, Nair finally clutching it out. It's 62%. He does have Arsene on deck, but he needs to move in to utilize Arsene as much as possible. He does not do so when he's pressured off by Pasta, locking down stage control, edge guard situation, going low to avoid turn up, and skirting with that hover back air to keep the pressure on stage once it gets back up. Pasta putting up a huge wall of defense up against the Joker.
SWX trying to make his way back. BlazingPasta looking to shut the door and throw away the key. And it seems that he has the key to victory now. He's 1 stock away, Mini Boss.
Yeah, just the way that Pasta was fading in, out, and back in with that edge guard, it made 6WX throw out an attack option, whether by dropping off ledge and coming in with an attack or using the attack get up by itself. And Pasta was just free to throw out a back air, which is one of the most lethal aerial options that Peach has. Tries to stifle out, but Parasol does cut through the gun. That's got to be like the Penguin from Batman's Parasol right now.
Yeah, actually, though. Oh, shout out to Danny DeVito, man.
Oh, my gosh. He killed. He had the time of his life on that set.
Oh, you already know.
He cheesed that up so hard.
6WX seals the approach by BlazingPasta. Well done. And we'll look for the counter. However, BlazingPasta not nearly as aggressive as we've been entailing, I suppose. He's very smart with his options. And indeed, he knew that if he attacked, that would have been death! That back air, however, 6WX still in this one.
85, though. He has to be really careful with how much damage he's willing to let Pasta put on to potentially get Arsene back up. These early encounters as well, where he's getting damage in, finally goes for that up air drag down, which we haven't seen a whole lot. Pasta not giving him that option all too much.
1 win in neutral, and this could be over.
Oh, yeah, without a doubt. The way that 6WX is charging forward, finally putting the pressure on, and finally asserting that dominance, not letting Pasta breathe. Pasta throwing out bears and bears, but again, now 6WX going back on his heels, playing defensively, gets the grab in. Arsene halfway to coming out. He's going out way too far!
No! He missed it! 6WX got too ambitious, flying too close to the sun, and his wings melted out from under him. BlazingPasta will take it 3-0. And that is how CodeName Bears 186 will end Mini Boss in heartbreaking fashion.
I mean, yeah, I'm heartbroken. You guys don't have to tell me. The way that 6WX, he commanded that stage, he did not need to do that.
Yeah, he got too ambitious, and he knows it. He knows it.
Yeah,
that's the worst thing about it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we can feel it for him, and we're expressing the way that he feels right now.
Oh yeah.
But I just, it's yes, he did, Abs. He did. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he chased out when he did not need to. He was applying a lot more of the assertive pressure, a lot more of the controlling nature that Joker has in those early percentages, and carrying it through the maroon and red of those percentages as they piled up. And then as we saw Pasta on his heels, he didn't potentially want to give Pasta any sort of stage control if the reverse of the edge guard swayed into Pasta's favor. So maybe that's the reason why he chased out and wanted to claim it and push it to that next game. But, I mean, we can only get into the minds of the top players so much without having to hear from them in the moment. And just like you said, the story's going to be written that Pasta takes it instead of 6WX.
And we were talking about that. I mean, if BlazingPasta was one win in neutral away, that win never came. It's just
right.
It's heartbreaking. It really is. And it's not like we haven't seen. It's not like we haven't seen 6WX bounce back before. He'll bounce back motivated as ever.
Yeah, the bouncing back in
that Joker can win tournaments.
Oh, yes. He took him reset round. The first game, it was on last stock, high percentages, and, like I said, last game. So he can definitely take Pasta to task. He can even bring it against Juice, as we saw in later CodeName Bears as well. So this is a very dangerous Joker. So,
I would be very interested to see how this Joker fares at tournaments all across Tri-State.
Oh,
whether it's Platinum Star or whether it's King. Or really any tournament after that. I feel like this is a Joker that has a very, very high ceiling, and indeed, we have not seen the last of it, and perhaps the search is over for 6WX, searching for his main after Sonic. A bit of a letdown, but we'll have to see how the man responds. But the day belongs to BlazingPasta, and it was very well earned. The Peach main, that is certainly as good an advertisement for his compendium to Momocon as he could have ever asked for.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a definite chalk line on the bracket there for Pasta. If you guys haven't already, support Pasta from the Smash.gg page for MoboCon. Buy as much as you can to get this guy over there, because he really needs... I mean, in PA and the Tri-State area, he is a demon. He is well known. But we got to get the word out there across the country. This guy deserves to be a very, very dangerous image when you picture Peach mains.
Exactly. I mean, he's one of the first people that comes to my mind, and obviously there are tons of Peaches that have garnered prominence. BlazingPasta very much on his way up. He has not hit his ceiling, and it's hard to imagine a bigger ceiling right now than winning the tournament today, but this Peach looking to soar to even greater heights, parasol in hand, and BlazingPasta certainly on his way there. Folks, we'd like to thank you for joining us here at CodeName Bears 186 from the laboratory in Hatboro. That's the arm of Summer Haze. That's MiniBoss. Where can they find you on Twitter?
MiniBoss_SSB, capital M, capital B, capital SSB.
You can follow me on Twitter and Twitch at Stu the Announcer. Clash_Chia, that's the Twitter for Chia, who was running production all night, as well as Zant, who you can follow at CT_Zant, if I'm not mistaken. Zant SSBM, that's right.
Oh,
okay,
Melee Boy, all right.
There you go. Yeah, no, he really is. He's all about Melee, but he comes in and he helps, and we love him and he loves us. It's always appreciated, and we appreciate you for joining us. So for all of us here at the laboratory, alongside MiniBoss, I'm Stu the Announcer. We will see you next time here at CodeName Bears.